Leads. It's the one thing every single SaaS founder, SaaS leader, SaaS business could use more of. And not just leads, but quality leads. But here's the big question. It's a very, very noisy world out there. For example, should you be on TikTok to generate leads and pipeline for your B2B SaaS business? Or should you be doing outbound? Or should you be doing ads? There's so many different channels out there. It can be very overwhelming on what are the channels should you actually focus on. And here's the thing. If you don't have channel mastery, if you don't really know how to master one channel, you'll be neither here nor there trying to do everything everywhere and end up nowhere. So on this episode, I'm gonna dig into the 3 key SaaS go-to-market channels that you need to be focusing on, that you can use to generate more leads, and that you need to master. And when you do this, you will be able to accelerate the growth of your SaaS business. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon because I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, and that way you will get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of this channel, if you're a subscriber already, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Over the past year and a half, as part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, I've worked with countless SaaS founders on how to actually grow their SaaS businesses. And as I've worked with different companies, I've started to get the value of pattern matching. I've started to see which channels work in the early stage, which channels don't, which channels seem promising but generate garbage quality leads, and how do you actually go about focusing on the right channels to drive growth for your SaaS business. So in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 key principles, the 3 channels that have come out at the top out of all the companies I've helped scale in the past year and a half. Once you get through these 3 channels and understand exactly why I'm prioritizing them, you too will be able to leverage these channels and accelerate the growth of your SaaS business. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. And let's go to principle number 1. Okay, so before I go into all of the channels, the first thing you wanna understand is what is the science behind generating more leads? So the core principle here is that here is your ICP. This is your ideal customer profile. This is kind of the tenet to everything that we do here at Unstoppable. And these are your customers that maybe don't know about you yet, that you want to generate as leads. You want to get their attention. And when it comes to marketing, my most favorite definition of marketing is more people know about you today than they did yesterday. That's it. That's the core definition of marketing that I just really love. It's super simple because people overcomplicate these things. And what you're doing is you're trying to find a way to get to your ICP by actually getting through these channels. So this is your SaaS company, your offering, and your product, right? Whatever it is that you're selling. And if this is what you're selling, every single day you want more and more people to actually discover you. That's it. That's what we're trying to do with the proper go-to-market strategy. And when the marketing of that is working, then as part of your sales process over here, this could be actual salespeople, or it could be a product-led growth process, you will be able to convert them to actual revenues. So ultimately, what you're trying to do is get revenues. Now, this may seem really obvious or simple, but I wanted to start with that baseline because I feel that people overcomplicate these things. And this is literally it. You have your ideal customers, they don't know about you yet, you have your product, and what you're trying to do is marketing to get their attention, to get more people to know about you, and then you're getting them into a sales process, whether it's your product-led growth process or actual salespeople, to get them into the product and converting them to revenue so you can serve them, you can give them value, and you can solve their problem. Now, here's the big question. What are the channels that actually work? So having worked with countless companies, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 channels that have performed the best for all the companies that I've worked with. Number 1, the first place that you can actually generate a ton of leads in a really quality way. You can really target your ICP. You can go after quality people that you know will have budget, and you can generate leads and get more people to know about you and get them into your sales process or your product is LinkedIn. And While a lot of people believe, especially in the early stages, they're like, oh, I'm gonna build in public, I'm gonna be on Twitter. Here's the thing. For most B2B SaaS companies, your audience, your ideal customers are not in Twitter to actually buy. Are there exceptions? Absolutely. But for actual core B2B platforms and SaaS companies, your buyers are business buyers, and your business buyers are all on LinkedIn. And the most important thing about LinkedIn is LinkedIn still gives you organic reach. What that means is if you post on Facebook today and you might have 1 million followers, unless you pay Mark Zuckerberg a bunch of money, your page followers won't actually see that content. Facebook doesn't have much organic reach. You actually have to pay to get that content distributed. Whereas on LinkedIn, if you actually go and do a post every single week, if you actually direct message people, if you actually connection request people based on certain parameters in your ICP, you will actually get them to know more about you and build that trust. This is why LinkedIn has been one of the most effective ways I've seen B2B SaaS companies grow in the past 1.5 years that I've been coaching founders and helping founders grow. So LinkedIn has 2 different ways you can actually plug in. One is you can do a post every single week, and I recommend that. And the other is you can literally connect with people and direct message them. And these 2 things actually compound on each other, because if you're connecting with people and you're posting every week, the connections you make will see your content and then they'll actually engage with you. Plus you can also direct message them. Any one of these strategies can help you actually break through to your ideal customer profile and every single day get more people to know about you and your product and your message. So that's principle number 1, channel number 1. Channel number 2 is actually one of my favorites. And this is, when I do a YouTube video every single week, I bring you on and you watch this and you hopefully get a ton of value. And really the reason I do it, this is completely free. We don't even have monetization turned on in this. We don't run ads. This YouTube channel is essentially a little mini webinar I run every single week. But what you can do, you don't have to start a YouTube channel unless you really want to. It is a lot of work, so I'll be upfront about that. However, if you want to do that, the other way you can do it is run webinars and events. And the power in this is as people know more about you, the biggest thing you're trying to do, the first thing is they need to know you. The second thing is they need to trust you. And the reason this marketing game is so hard these days is because there's so much noise out there. So first you have to cut through with the right channels and the right mastery. And the second thing you need to do is you need to actually put out content and put out things out there, and they need to spend time with you so they start to trust you. And the more they trust you, the easier the sales process and the conversion is going to be. And so this is why webinars are super powerful, because as people get to know you, then you can actually host webinars and host events where people come to you and you can actually say, hey, I'm gonna spend 45 minutes teaching you about our software. And maybe you don't talk specifically about the software, but you talk about the thing about the thing, which is what is the bigger movement that you're creating? What is your manifesto? And you can actually walk them through that. And the beautiful part about this is when you are hosting a webinar, let's just say you're hosting a webinar every single week, the power in this is you can actually share that webinar on your LinkedIn or on your Twitter. You can go to your customers and tell them to share the webinar. It ends up being a reason to generate more leads. It becomes a thing that you can offer to your ICP as a point of value. And that's why webinars are the second most way where I've seen companies scale and do really well, because what they do is they take their message, they take some of their best performing posts, and they turn them into webinars and go in depth into them. And from that, they get them into the product or they get them into a sales process. All right, so those are the first 2 things. If you're doing anything else, you might be wasting your time, because we've tried so many different channels, so many different avenues, and these, by an order of magnitude across multiple companies, they do better than the rest. And the best of all, these are relatively free, meaning you're not paying anyone to be on LinkedIn. Maybe you pay a LinkedIn Premium, but that's it. You're not paying anyone, maybe you just pay for Zoom, but that's it. There's no per click payment here. This is all organic, which is super powerful for generating leads. So before I go to the third one, the third most powerful B2B SaaS channel, before I do that, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the power in this? Are you starting to see the power of if you start to focus on one of these key channels and really get great at them, not only will you be able to reduce your customer acquisition cost, you'll be able to make it where you can get more people in your ICP to know about you, trust you, and then buy from you. Are you starting to see the power in this? If you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also, Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Now, one other thing, you might also be wondering, well, how do I do this? What do I do on LinkedIn? What is my manifesto? What is my message? How do I structure a webinar? How do I talk for 45 minutes about what we're building without just giving a demo of the product? This is exactly why I created my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. This is also how I know so much about scaling SaaS companies, because I literally am in the trenches with founders like you, helping you grow with a scalable go-to-market strategy. And that's exactly what we do inside of the program. Now, I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode. I'll also link to it below. Let's go to principle number 3, channel number 3, because I'm sure you're sticking around for that right now. So let's go into that, and then I'll cover the go-to-market program all the way to the end if you stick around. So channel number 3 that just wins every single time is outbound. And granted, you know, I am a little biased. I did start ToutApp. ToutApp was one of the pioneers in the sales engagement space. We were one of the first companies that started the whole outbound game at scale. Truth is, even 11 years later since starting ToutApp, outbound is still king. Sales engagement is over a $5 billion category right now. Why? Because outbound still works. And again, it doesn't cost any money. Yeah, you have to pay for the mail server, you have to pay for the software, but beyond that, there's no pay per click. What this means is you can actually identify your ICP and you can send them emails at scale. You can cold email them. And by the way, this does not have to just be digital, which is why I put outbound instead of just saying email. You can do email, you can do cold calling, and you can even send a FedEx envelope. Why a FedEx envelope? Well, a FedEx envelope has a 99% open rate. If there's a FedEx envelope delivered to you, you will open it and you will read whatever is inside and you'll maybe take action on it if it's any good. That's the power of a FedEx envelope. What that means is if your deal sizes are big enough and your marketing budget is big enough, you can cut the email, cut the calling, and just FedEx them. That's the power of outbound. And so many companies I've seen in the go-to-market program, once they really honed in on their message and their manifesto, they're like, you know what? The LinkedIn posts are doing pretty well. We need more. The webinars are doing pretty well. We need more. That's when they turned on outbound. And the beauty of this is not a either or thing. If you do these 3 things, if you combine these things, it actually compounds. Meaning, let's just say you have this ICP and you have 100 customers that you really want to target. If you start connecting with them on LinkedIn, if you then invite them to webinars and you send them outbound emails and you're consistently providing value, that is the best form of marketing. And the biggest thing here is it doesn't matter whether you're sales driven or product led. What matters is you're doing the marketing for them to discover your sales process, whichever it may be. And when you are actually getting great at all 3 of these channels and operating in these 3 channels and ignoring the noise and everything else, you are able to create an unstoppable go-to-market machine. And that's the power in this. This is why I wanted to do this video, because after working with so many companies, we're over 100 now, after work in the go-to-market program, what I've seen is, man, LinkedIn, webinars and events, outbound, like it just crushes. It just crushes. And the founders that are deliberate about scaling their team and bringing on the people to run these 3 after they go beyond the founder-led sales and marketing stage, they crush it even more. And this is why I wanted to do this video. I wanted to walk you through, listen, don't waste time experimenting with stuff that are unproven or too early. Just focus on these 3, LinkedIn, webinars and events, and outbound. You do these 3 things, you will be able to actually get more leads and generate more pipeline that is quality and close more deals. Now you know exactly what the 3 channels are, but what you may not know is how do you operate these 3 channels? How do you get to channel mastery? Meaning, how do you get good at LinkedIn? How do you get good at webinars and events? How do you do outbound? What do you put inside of the LinkedIn post? What do you put inside of the webinar? How do you talk for 45 minutes about your manifesto? What should you put in an outbound email and who should you target? What is your ICP? The devil is in the details. And the analogy I always use is these are giant machine guns, right? And you can point them anywhere. If you don't have an ICP, then you don't have a clear target on where you're pointing. If you don't have a clear message and you don't know how to operate these channels, then you're firing blanks. You need all 3. You need the targeting, you need the machine, and you also need quality bullets to actually fire at them. That's the messaging. And you need all 3. And this is exactly why I created my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Inside of my coaching program, I actually help you go from an undefined go-to-market strategy to a well-defined and scalable go-to-market strategy that you can actually execute on, get going, and then as you start to get momentum, you can hire people in to actually go beyond founder-led sales and marketing and actually have your whole team plug into the training and execute on this strategy and this machine. And inside of this program, it's been an amazing program. We've had amazing founders in it. I've featured case study videos of founders that have gotten so much out of it and so much growth and raised their follow-on rounds and gotten profitability. So we are accepting more people into this program, more founders just like you. If you're B2B SaaS, then this program is perfect for you. So if you're interested, just go to tkcater.com/GTM, tkcater.com/GTM. Over there, you'll get all the details about the program, exactly how it works, how you get to work with me, how we actually build a scalable go-to-market machine. And the process is very simple. You just fill out a little form. We make sure you're a good fit. And if you are, we are off to the races. We start working together. So just go to tkcater.com/GTM. And that way you can get into the go-to-market program and work with me to actually implement these things and make sure you have a proper go-to-market strategy. Also, if you got value from this video, if you're still watching, that means you probably did, then please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Also, I drop an episode like this with actionable strategies on how to grow your SaaS business faster. This is from my 15 years of experience in actually operating SaaS companies, and then now working with over 250 across all my programs. I have 3 coaching programs for different stages. This is for the go-to-market program. 250 founders. I'm in the trenches with the founders, so all the stuff I bring you is from the trenches. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon if you haven't already. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. It's every single Sunday. Also, if you got value from this, if you have a fellow founder, if you have a fellow team member that would get value from this, please share this video with them. If you're part of a Slack group, a WhatsApp group of founders, please share it with them. We want to help as many founders as possible through this channel. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I will see you in the next episode or inside of the go-to-market program. The link is below, tkcater.com/GTM.